Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
All right. So yesterday we started a new lesson, and I want you to try and remember what we're learning about. What are we learning about? Think about it. When you think you can remember what we're learning about, stick your thumb on the table. Okay, let's practice this sentence. We are learning about.
We are learning about.
All right. Lexi.
We are learning about comparing.
Voila. Thank you, Lexi. We're learning about comparing numbers. Malaya, what are we learning about? Comparing numbers. Everybody, what are we learning about? Beautiful. All right. Yesterday we talked about this symbol right here. Malaya. Every time you see this symbol right here, what do you say? Less than, because it's small in the beginning and then it gets bigger, right? Okay. So let's read this one together. 33 is less than 43. Very good. Lexi, every time you see this symbol and it starts out big and gets smaller, what do we say? Greater than whenever we read it. Let's read it together. 45 is greater than 44. Good. Malaya, every time we see this symbol, and these are the same length, what do we say? Yeah, it's equal to, not always equal to 83, but this symbol means that we're going to say is equal to, right? Let's read this one. 83 is equal to 83. Good. So whenever you see a comparison, everybody say comparison, you're going to read it just like this. So, Lexi, what number is this? Yes. Malaya, what number is this? 32. And we learned a long time ago that the alligator eats the big number, right? But now we need to learn how to read it from left to right. So we would read this statement. 58 is greater than 32. Just like that, okay? Yesterday we talked about a strategy. Does anybody know what a strategy is? What is a strategy, Malaya? What is it? Absolutely. Write something down to help you figure out the answer. It's some steps that you do. Okay, so Lexi, whenever we're comparing numbers, what's the strategy that Miss Cargill has told you to do? It might be on the board somewhere. Over here. This board over here. Step 1 is? Yep, chip it. Very good. Malaya, step 2 is? Okay, what are you going to write? Oh, okay, good. And step 3 is what, Lexi? Put a what? Put the symbol on it. All right. Are you ready? We're going to practice this a couple of times, and we're going to use this sentence stem right here. And it says, read it with me. This comparison is true or false because, good. And we're also going to use this sentence stem. The numeral, oh wait, Lexi, what's numeral mean? It's a fancy word for what? Numeral is a fancy word for what? Okay. Well, don't tell me. I want you to turn to Lexi and say numeral is a fancy word for. Tell me. Okay. Lexi, what's a numeral? Good job. Numeral is a fancy word for number. Okay, so let's read it. The numeral blank is blank the numeral blank. All right, so let's try. I'm going to draw some random numbers. Are you ready? I've got the number 83, and I've got the number 74. Okay. Step 1 is chip it. Chip it. Make it happen. Very good. We've chipped them. Now what, Lexi? Oh, check out the strategy whenever you're comparing numbers. Yep, make it happen. Remember, we write 83 on one side and 74 on the other, but we don't put a symbol in there yet, right? Okay. Once you've written the numbers down, look at your hundreds chart. Check out the numbers, evaluate them, and now you need to figure out what symbol you should put in the middle. I'll give you a couple more seconds. We're going to use this sentence stem, but for right now, I want you guys to practice the sentence stem together. Don't tell me, tell each other. Ready? Go. Tell her. You practice telling it to her. All right. Who's going to tell me? Lexi! Loud and proud.
The numeral 83 is greater than the numeral 74.
Can you tell me how you figured that out?
I figured it out because 83 is greater than 74.
You are correct. 83 is greater than 74, but how did you figure that out? Like, how do you know that 83 is greater than 74? What helped you? What did you look at whenever you drew that symbol? I'm just asking how you figured it out. What, like, you saw 83 and you saw 74 and you wrote that symbol and you were good to go. But how did you know to write that symbol? How did you know to write that symbol? Lexi? Absolutely. You'd like more information. All right. So I told you to chip it, right? And you put one on 83, and then you put one on 74. And then you looked at this and you knew to draw this right here, right? What helped you figure out which one was bigger whenever you were looking at it? This one here? So how do you know, whenever you put your chips down, how do you know which one's bigger? Keep thinking about it. Malaya, why don't you tell her what you do?
You looked at them, and then you saw that 83 was bigger than 74.
So did you look at the 8 and then the 7? Or did you look that this one was further down so it's bigger? Which one did you do? This one? Because it's further down on the chart, you know it's bigger, right? Okay, good deal. All right, so now that we've reviewed that one, let's try this one. All right, Malaya, let's feed the monster. All right, can you read that out loud for me?
64 is equal to 32.
Okay, let me see. 64 is equal to 32. You might already know the answer to this one, but Ms. Cargill wants you to follow your strategies. So, step 1 is not to write it. Step 1 is chip it. We're going to chip 64 and 32. Step 2 is write it.
Miss Cargill,
Yes, ma'am.
why does 30 go right here, but 20 is right?
Well, that's 29. That's a good question. It's because it counts to 10, and each 10 is at the end. See? Look, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. You see? Go all over. Good question. All right, we're writing step 2. And now remember, after you do step 2, you're going to do step 3, which is write the symbol. You're going to write the symbol that goes there, no matter what. We're not just copying this. We are doing the work. Chipped them. We looked. What do we do?
I forgot we didn't go to
Yeah, not today. All right, Malaya. We're using this sentence stem now.
This comparison is false because 64 is greater than 32.
Marvelous job. Thank you, Malaya. Which monster are you going to feed? Are you going to feed the true monster or the false monster?
False.
Good job. All right, Lexi. Let's do a different one. Not a green one. Pick a purple or a blue. There we go. All right. What you got?
4 is greater than 4.
Okay, let me see. We've got 40 is greater than 4. You might know the answer to this, but make sure you always do your what?
Chip it, write it, and then
Yep, and what's that called? That's called a
strategy.
It's called a strategy. All right, always do your strategy. Chip it, write it, symbol it. Go. Remember, I told you a minute ago. Yep. Okay, we chipped it. Come on. chipped it, we've written it, we've symboled it. Lexi, this one's yours.
The comparison is true because 40 is greater than 4.
Beautiful. I love it. Which monster are you going to feed?
True.
Go for it. Marvelous, marvelous, marvelous. All right, good deal. So now we're going to step it up a little bit. We're going to move to 3-digit numbers. 3-digit numbers. Let's see if we can do that.